All right. Hello, hello. Welcome. If somebody could just let me know in the chat if you could hear me.
Yes.
Okay, welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will not be on camera today. I'll share why in just a moment. Get started here in just a second. Hello, hello. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started so I have enough time for Q&A. All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. And surprise, surprise. I don't know if I shared that I was going to be out of the country. I'm out of the country today. I'm actually in India. I've been in India for a few days now. I have a few more days to go. It's very interesting here in India. I have a team here in India and came over with a chamber. So we'll be at the Taj Mahal tomorrow. But I really did not want to miss our call today. So it's 11:32 p.m. today. So I went to sleep earlier and woke up with my alarm because I really enjoy doing these calls. And I missed last week because I was at the White House. So today, what we're going to talk about specifically is going through the Georgia Procurement Registry. And hello, hello, if you're here for the first time, my name is Montina Young-Frazier. And I do these calls because I'm serious about you all being successful. I really, really enjoy business. I enjoy being in business, but more than anything, I enjoy teaching about business. I've always enjoyed teaching about business. It's something that's just been, it's fun to me. Politics are fun to me. So it's kind of like, people say, when you know your passion, you do it for free. Don't believe the hype. It's not that you would do it for free. It's just that you would really super enjoy doing it. So with these calls, I'm dedicated to helping small, minority, underserved businesses connect the dots in the great state of Georgia. We live here, work here, play here, pray here. Someone told me, and we vote here. We should be doing business in the state of Georgia. And it's often confusing, especially if you don't understand how, procurement works. If you have a product or service that you can't readily explain to a procurement professional, and or you may have something that they're just not buying. I know people that are getting, certified in their notaries. I'm like, people go to banks and get that done for free. So sometimes you just don't have a business where you can articulate as a commodity what it is that you're selling. My business in particular, especially with the digital marketing piece, video production, all of that we did for attorneys early on with my company. I've been in business now 10 years. We couldn't articulate it to the government. We could just do the video production piece. I could have gone in and done, there were a few times we could have maybe built websites, but I was like, I don't know, because the databases are huge. But I found a niche in TA, technical assistance. Like, wow, I didn't know the government was, paying for technical assistance, and most people don't. So again, it's looking at what you do, understanding what you do, and how the government is purchasing it, how they're procuring it. So that's pretty much why I do this. Yes, it is a commitment. We do have through the Atlanta Black Chambers, I'm the government affairs chair. And look on my LinkedIn. You all that are following me or sign up on my LinkedIn. We have 200 plus people now, I think, that have actually, I'm at Zoom open. So I admire your dedication for continuing to come to the calls. Just like I don't do it to be dedicated. I do it because it's fun. But I admire your dedication too. So let's look at the Georgia Procurement Registry through the Atlanta Black Chambers. I am having what is this? It's a roundtable. It's a small business roundtable. And the goal of it is to advocate for legislation to be written for small businesses in the state of Georgia to have set asides, just like the federal government does. Everything under $250,000 is automatically set aside for small businesses on the government level. Why not on the federal level? Why isn't it on the state level? And one day it just had this epiphany, and I'm just like, this just doesn't make sense. I'm sitting at a table. At the time, I was sitting next to an individual from SBA, and they're like, you should do a roundtable. And I was like, that's a great idea. So it went from me doing the roundtable, in collaboration with SBA, doing it at SBA, to me doing it at the Russell Center, to me doing it under Atlanta Black Chambers. And quite frankly, to me, almost doing this by myself. Like people that were like, oh my gosh, I want to participate. I'm interested. Yeah, right. But I know the space, and I developed my own list of 100 people. I know the legislators, and I'm like, look, these are the people that need to be in the room. 6 states already have this, and you all don't have the time to advocate for it because you're busy building your business, and I'm on the other side of business because I'm going into politics. So that's the long story short of it. Okay, so that's kind of giving you some background for why I do this, what it's for, and all of that good stuff, right? Why it's so important to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my entire screen here. Okay, so now I can see because I'm only on one monitor here, one laptop. So again, Georgia Procurement Registry, this is where, again, items in the state of Georgia above a certain amount are procured on this registry, but it depends, right? It depends on the county, it depends on the entity. My county that I live in, Henry County, anything over $100,000 is on Georgia Procurement Registry. But I mean, we've seen things from the Atlanta Regional Commission and ARC. And I saw a RFP, request for proposal for videography services. I post everything on LinkedIn when I see it. And it was for $10,000. So it really depends. Another thing about this with your NIGP codes, this is different than NAICS or NACS codes. Your NACS codes are different. This one, you really want to know what your NIGP codes are. Kind of the easiest way to do that is just search a phrase. So I do a lot of work in the construction field because we build websites for companies in the construction trades. So electrical, they can go in here and look up some of the things. I put electrician, but I would also look at the proposals as well. And we'll take this thing and use the keywords because again, no offense if you're a government employee. My husband's a government employee, no offense. But oftentimes we'll find with government employees, they're just, they're known for being lazy. Some are just lazy, okay? So electrician, actually this would probably be electrical services. So we'll look at all. And again, I'm on the bidding event search, Georgia Procurement Registry. We'll come in and look at the status. So here we see that there were 3. So electrician, licensed electricians, licensed electricians. So this is like something like, we want to look under maybe electrical services or something really, really specific to that because it's probably baked into or combined into the contract for construction related services, right? So they'll have things in the construction trades that'll say MEPS, mechanical engineering, plumbing services. So again, I know that space really well because we work in that space. So that's why I know it. So you want to, again, come out and research so you know what the NIGP codes are, and they're at the bottom. So see here it has electrical engineering, electrical equipment, electrical and electronic products, wiring. So this one right here would probably be a good one to look up, 91082. Another thing you can do is you can reach out to the buyer. This right here, it's already been awarded, right? Look, it's already been awarded. This was 2019. Okay, so they're in the archives. I don't know if, let's see, Earl Coleman is still there, but I would research and see if I was doing this type of work. Director of Supply Chain Management. It looks like they are on LinkedIn. Again, I'm just showing you in real time how this is done. So he's open to work. He's no longer there. I still would reach out to him. I still would reach out to Earl and say, hey, or I'd reach out to him right through LinkedIn because he, has been there. So 8 years, 11 months. director of supply chain, director of purchasing. I'd look at some of the functions that they have, mental health. So he's been in this space. One thing about this space is incestuous. They just hop around. Okay. If they've been in one, they've probably been in another too. You could connect with him. Okay. Typically send a connection message. I'm out and I'm not paying $200 a month or whatever for premium. So I can just connect, but I can't. See, it's going to tell me I can't add a note. Let's see if it's, see, I don't have free. So you can still send a connection request without a note. Okay. Again, if I were in this space, I actually have a client in the space, I would say, hey, I'm not sure if you're still at the Georgia World Congress Center, because we're really not. It doesn't really say he's not there, it just says open to work, but we can presume he's not there. But I don't know. But love to just have a conversation. I saw that there was RFQ. This is the type of work I do. Can you give me any insight? And if he's no longer there, I would offer to pay for his services. This is a place where I beat most people in terms of just as a business owner, everyone wants something for free. Everybody. I appreciate those of you that even did the recommendations for me for LinkedIn, because I said, hey, I do this. I don't charge you. I don't even provide like this upsell consulting, like, oh my gosh, come back and I'm not selling you anything. Now, if you're in construction trades, I am selling websites. But most people they just want to take. I'm out here, as our guide said, we're not on holiday, we're on a venture in India. And he says, and so I met, one person that I would just, she's my person and we get along really well. She owns group homes. And we were just talking that takers take and givers give. If you want something from somebody and they can take you further faster, offer to pay. Okay. So that's what I would do in terms of this buyer. So let's again, we can't see this award. Let's see if we can find another award. I do see someone in the chat. I'll get to you in a second. You can't pay me, just so, people say that and then they're like, you can't pay me nothing. Only way you can work with me if you're at the Russell Center or Georgia Tech or something like that. All right, again, this was a request for quote, requesting proposals from qualified electrician companies or individuals to provide electrical services for digital signage and wayfinding project. Quotes should be developed in strict accordance, blah, 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 blah. Again, I'd look at these NIGP codes. Okay, remember I said we're looking at NIGP codes. Let's look at the documents. Okay, design intent and the request for quote. So let's see what the update might be if we can pull that up. Right, let me look here. And let's see what the update says. See if they give us any people. The public safety will be a retrofit, signs. Okay, it's just giving us oh, they did an addendum. Okay, so make sure that you're familiar with the addendums. Okay, see what you guys are saying. Oh, gems. Thanks, Tatia. I learned that rubies are the second strongest stone or hardest stone outside of diamonds. My birthstone. Things they teach you in India. All right, and so this was the signage, additional information. So see here, additional information. And let me tell you, let's just say you have an uncle or cousin or just someone your friend's husband, or someone at your church and does a lot of electrical work. As long as they have the licensing, especially required in that space, the part I think it's like the IBEW or just whatever, the federation, they can bid on these projects. You don't have to be super duper, like, you're not special. They just have to make sure that their business affairs in terms of what they're asking for is based on that RFP, that they can produce it. It didn't necessarily say anything about being in business. It just said, hey, licensed electricians, individual or businesses, okay? All right, it doesn't like that NIGP code. Oh, because I said search keyword, okay? Type of response we had here. Government, it just didn't like the NIGP search. Let's do this. Okay. Let's search. You know what it is. See those extra spaces I have there because I copied it like that. Let's see, search. Yeah, that's what it was. All right, so let's go back to our bidding event search. Keyword. If you have something you want me to look up and you're in the room, go to the chat. Just put it in the chat. So I'm going to, again, Georgia Procurement Registry. If I can't find what it is I'm looking for with open, I like to search open first. Just go to all. Okay. With that specific keyword. So it didn't come up because remember, it wasn't awarded. It was out. So it wasn't awarded. All right. So let's go in here and just look at the procurement. Let's reset this. for open. Let's look at what's ending, start date, end date. This is what I like to come in and look at. And I like to look from a start date. So they having anyone doing uniforms. They have a uniform rebid for University of North Georgia, auditorium upgrade, project management services. Tati, I know this is something you do. Okay, just came out today. Haha. So let's see here. 1:42 p.m. means it came out 15 minutes ago. Let me put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. All right. So let's look at this. Oh, did it go through? Okay, cool. All right. Again, I would err on the side of do not contact the buyers. Once it's out for bid, you cannot contact the buyers with anything. Well, you can. Let me say that. Unless it says you cannot, you can. But any of the questions that you ask are going to be public. Okay, they're going to be public. That's why you'll have an addendum. So blah 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 blah. This is what they're looking for. Hybrid announcement, business consulting. Look at the NIGP codes. Okay, NIGP codes. Let's see the documents, view attachment and respond to event. Government agency will only accept electronic bids. Please do not wait until the day before. There's a gentleman, I sent him 2 bids. I don't even remember where I met him. It might've been these calls. And he said the day he went to do it, he thought it was due on a Monday, like at noon, and it was Monday, like 12 a.m. Monday, and he missed it, okay? So go into the documents, view attachments. You may need access to some sort of special website, or you may need to be registered, or maybe you don't have your Oracle information for City of Atlanta and it takes 3 days. Don't wait till the last minute. All right, so let's see your project management PMO services. This is a huge project. Now here's the thing, if you can't do this project, find somebody that you think possibly could. I'm actually gonna do the PDF because the doc will take, and ask them if it'd be an opportunity for you to partner. And I hear you when you say, well, I don't want them to take it from up under me. People do that, but your time will come. I've had that happen to me, and I'm on a contract right now. They took it. I know they did. I mentioned it to someone and they were being messy. And guess what? It came back to me and I now have that contract. Okay, so it happens. So, I like to look for the money, money, money. Let's see what the budget is. Staff and supplier, you have to have subcontractor. So again, if subcontractors expected to receive 50K or more annually under the contract, always have a subcontractor agreement. Okay, I'm not an attorney, so and I don't pretend to play one on the internet. Okay, see if there's a budget, which probably not, but maybe. Okay, you have to have a budget management plan. See if there's any type of budget in this. Reporting, monthly project status report. This is HR services, budget and change request updates, financial reporting criteria. Okay, budget management plan. All right. And don't be, intimidated by, you see this and it's like, oh my gosh, it is a zillion pages. It's only 34 pages. This is your space. This is the type of work you do. Come in here, review it, and you can bid on these. You can bid on these. I believe in you. Okay, let me get back. Tatia, you have that there. Okay. And again, if you can't do this, this could be something, try to find partners. You guys try to find people that do what you do. That's why it's so important to build relationships. That's why everyone sees me online and they're like, oh my gosh, Montina's everywhere. Yeah, kind of, sort of, it seems like it. But I'm very particular about the type of people I connect with, the opportunities I see in building the relationships. Because again, if that was my space, I would have people in my space and I'm like, you know what? I'm too small to do this. You're larger to do this, but I went in on this contract. And you don't have to stick with just one. Shoot, find like several people that are in your space like that. All right, HVAC management. I have a client that does this. I'm going to send this to him today. Cell modular. Oh, those are probably for modular, modular structures for kids. Okay. If you have any questions, I'm going to open it up for questions. Yeah, modular classroom proposals. I have a friend that does it for homes, but she probably do that. Snack vending services, security services. I know I have a friend that does security services. Construction bids. I'm sending this to one of my clients. Trade provider for continuing education courses for Department of Defense. This is probably about, it's DOD. Remember, anything under 250 automatically is going to a small business. So instructor-led classroom training, searching for bids for trade provider, minimum 5 years of private CE, continuing education course, blah, blah, blah. Youth challenge, non-high school working. I'm reading it fast. So again, you have to be registered with Department of Revenue, good standing all tax payments, as this is part of the being responsible supplier to be awarded a bid. This is a good one. This would be great for somebody for youth training services. I don't want training kids, but this is another good one. Oh, there's some good opportunities out here right now. Wow. Trade provider template. All right. Scope of work specifications, request for quote. Let's look at the scope of work. And if you could put in the chat, if you want, how many bids have you bid? How many bids? How many opportunities have you responded to and submitted a bid for? 20, 25, less than 10, 0. I'm going to start asking this on every call, and I'm asking you to kind of do publicly. It's not like 11 people in the room, so it's not many. The vendor with a minimum of 5 years have the capability to cover instructor's absence, done a trade, certified nursing assistant. So they're looking for some specific vocational trades. Okay, that's great. So again, you could be a staffing company and you could supply this. Okay, because the people in this space, they probably don't have businesses to do this. So I could easily see a staffing company doing this. All right, what questions do you have? And this is something, again, I'm going to, okay, for good, lesson 10, okay, good. I am going to be asking for this every meeting. I'll do like a little poll so people don't be like, oh my God, I don't want to share, I haven't submitted any bids. It's okay. We're all here growing together. All right, administrative management. All right, and general management consulting services. That's what I put in here when I was looking for someone to put in the chat. All right, what questions do you have? You have me for about 6 more minutes, then I got to jump on another call. What questions do you have? Yep, I can put the youth training, Robert. Let me see. Nobody wants to talk to me today. Come on, y'all. It's 11:52 p.m. Oh, wait.
I'll talk with you.
All
First
right.
off, once again, I want to just iterate that this is great that you're calling all the way from India to talk to
I'm
us.
here in India. Yes.
Yeah, I know I feel special, and I'm glad you do this.
Yay.
And so one of the things that we're doing is we're going after federal bids as well as government bids. We're also looking, when I say government, I meant state bids. But there's
State or
none that have
federal?
come.
You're talking about
Yeah.
state? Okay, awesome. Okay.
And so we're looking at the whole gambit, and we've partnered with other companies that do federal bidding and have stuff, and so we support them. So that collaboration is one big thing. And the other thing that we're doing is something that you mentioned is that we look and see when bids are awarded and then go after the people that got the awards. So we're
Yeah,
starting to do that now too. And we're trying to do it in a more systematic way. So
good.
I'm here listening to you and trying to trying to keep up.
Okay, you can do it. Now I'll tell you what I would suggest, and for whatever reason, a lot of small businesses just don't want to get out the house. And maybe I just picked it up because when I started my business, I knew I was going to be broke and have skinny kids if I didn't get out and do the work. Again, the first 5 years, we only worked with attorneys. I showed up to every single bar event I could. I sponsored events across the country. Really, I was focused on the Southeast. I'll just say that. I focused, I found what organizations they were members of. Everyone thought I was an attorney. They literally thought I could speak their language. I knew about their books of business. So it really is building the relationship, because at the end of the day, I get people that literally reach out to me on LinkedIn and email, and they just find me, but I don't know you. I don't know you in person. I'm probably not doing business with you because I don't trust you. I just don't trust you. So I like to meet with people. I like seeing them, figure out what events people are going to, show up, shake hands, build the relationships in person as much as possible. That's why I always suggest playing on the state level with federal dollars. Just play in Georgia, because you can get to these events, you can get to these pre-bid meetings, you can get into the rooms. Whereas at the federal level, Maryland, Virginia, DC, those people have it on lock because they live there. If they don't live there, they have people that are up there talking to the odds to booze. They are online. They are going to these government places. They know SBA. They know the SBDC contact, really the SBA contacts at that level. So again, be in the room. And then on my LinkedIn, I did post, I need you all, to show up in the room to talk about the roundtables for state set-asides. I have some amazing speakers that are going to be there. We are halfway sold out in terms of the people that have registered. They may not all show up, but I really only can take about maybe 125 in that room. So sign up and get in the room to have the conversation. Okay, to have the conversation. Some other things, again, when you're hearing about the dollars, I'm just doing this generally. There are people that charge, as they should for this type of service. Hey, if you want to pay to play, pay to play. I just don't do it because I don't want to be, quite frankly, I just don't want to be obligated to do this every single week. If I don't want to, I don't do it. You're not paying me. I have no obligation. Last thing I'll leave you all with, because I'm going to hop on my other call. We're going to talk politics today, and I have interesting things to share. And that is the only ask that I have is just leave me a LinkedIn recommendation or referral or whatever it is. Hey, I come to Montina's classes and blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Just, hey, I hang out with Montina on Tuesdays. And it makes, it worthwhile for me to do this. And it just kind of builds up my recommendations on LinkedIn. But I do have, again, the event there for the Atlanta Black Chambers. I'm the Government Affairs Chair. What else here? Show up at events. You might say, Montina, where should I go? I post things all the time. I would definitely recommend chamber events. Start with chamber events. If you have a difficult time because you're introvert, most, I don't know, not a lot, but I do mean a lot of introverts. You guys might need an anxiety pill. Take some ashwagandha or something before you walk in the room. I'm not suggesting that. Well, maybe I am. My husband, before I met him, I smelled alcohol in his breath, I thought. So like years later, or maybe months later, I was like, I feel like I smell alcohol. He's like, yeah, I had to take a shot before I met you. So do what you got to do. But you have to be on in these spaces. Also, practice, at the smaller level before you get into spaces with a lot of people. If you get anxiety again from it, because I'll tell you, last thing I'll wrap up with is that the Georgia Minority Supplier Development Council, we had a business opportunity exchange. Oh, I'm going to give you two good things. And there was a gentleman, I just sat next to him. And I'm a small talker because I don't want to be like, here's my card, here's my business. And I'm not interested in your business either because I don't really know you. So I'm more interested in you. And all I said to him was like, hey, where are you from? He's like, what do you mean by that? I was so confused. I just was like, nothing. I just was just asking you where you're from. And then he's like, well, I'm from Jamaica, but I live in such and such. And I mean, he was nasty, but he was nasty to everybody. And he ended up leaving early. No one liked him. We would never do business with him. Like everyone at the table noticed how he just didn't seem like he wanted to be there. And, I don't know what his problem was. Maybe he had an off day, but all of us said the same thing about him. None of us wanted to be around him. So if that's something where you're like, oh, I don't really like people, then find somebody that likes people to get them at these events, because it's just not going to work for you. The other thing I have here, I'm going to show you real quick. This is what happened. I always end up oversharing stuff. Run out of time. I did set something here on this one, and let me see if I'll share it. I posted it. Let's see here. Copy link to the post so you can read it. Just be mindful. And again, I don't mean people need to like on a personal level. Just be cool with it. I don't know why he's like, I don't know. But the second thing is, another thing that I started doing is at events, you'll see me taking all the pictures at the events. But what I do is take pictures of everybody at the events. And now I start to link the photos on Google Drive. So even here at this event, I'm on adventure, as our guide says, but I'm here with the chamber. And I'm the person, an older lady was like, hey, can you share those photos? I said, sure, I'll create a Google Drive. So you become that go-to person. So find a way to add value in any of the spaces that you're in. Okay, so with that, I'm going over to the Let's Talk Politics call. It is on my LinkedIn. There's so much I could share here too. Follow me on LinkedIn because I share all kind of things. Like I watch the House Committee on Business hearings. Those are very, very interesting to see how SBAs, they're kind of failing small businesses, but they're interviewing Secretary Guzman. I went to the board meetings, me at the Treasury building. This is me in another board meeting for Council for Quality Growth. So this is me at the NAACP meeting. And this was when I was literally leaving. This was last week to come over to India. So again, be the person that shows up in the room and adds the value in the room. And I know for some of women, like, you're taking your pictures, selfies, look, my little face is fat and some of them it's skinny and some of it does not matter. Get out there and share the information. With that said, I got to run, y'all. It's midnight here, but I got to jump over to my next call. Again, the only ask that I have is to leave me a referral recommendation. I think it is on LinkedIn. And that's it. All right, y'all. See you next week. Bye, y'all. Bye.